All right, so the Fraser Valley is going to end the year slightly in the red, and today I'm going to be breaking down all the statistics, everything that happened in 2024, giving you my thoughts and opinions on everything that happened, maybe talking about what's going to happen going forward. So as you can see, this is the rolling 12-month chart. So basically every data point on here is everything that happened the 12 months prior to this. So all the price ups and downs gets amalgamated into one number, and we are down 0.7%. Going into inventory, you can see inventory is up 33% this year. That's massive. However, it looks like it's not crazy, right? It looks like it's about average on this chart because you can see all the way back here in 2009, we're at 9,100 listings. Currently, we're only at 6,700. So we're somewhere in the middle. This is a healthy range for inventory. New listings up 21%. Sales down 0.8%. But if you look at sales, you can see sales are historically pretty low at the moment. I mean, unless you're kind of excluding what happened in 2021 and 2016, the normal range, I mean, still, I'd probably say is probably somewhere in the middle of this chart. And we're probably still pretty well below the 10-year average for sales. Now, sales to actives down 25%, 18% sell-through ratio. That is still just below a seller's market. So even that is not too bad. Price per square foot is up 1.1%. So how is it prices are down, all the statistics suck, but price per square foot is actually up? To me, that looks like more affordable properties are selling. So the smaller a property is, typically the more you pay per square foot. So if the bulk of the sales are happening on lower priced properties, those units are also a smaller size, meaning that if the bulk of the properties that are selling are more affordable, they're also probably smaller, which means that the price per square foot could register as being higher if that is the bulk of the sales that's happening. Sorry, kind of a word salad there, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, on to detached homes in the Fraser Valley. We're actually up 2.8%. Not too bad for detached homes. Inventory up 23.8%. Again, look at detached homes. I mean, it looks like even for inventory, it looks like we are, still below the average for detached homes. I'd say the average is probably up here at 4,000 somewhere. Looks like we are still well below the average for inventory for the detached homes in the Fraser Valley. New listings up 15%. Even new listings for detached isn't anything to be necessarily worried about at this point. I mean, if it's still lower than the large majority of this chart going all the way back to 2005. Sales up 0.5%. Sales to actives ratio down 19%, sitting in almost a buyer's market for detached homes. Price per square foot is up again. And this is why I'm bullish on detached homes. Like, why is it that there's less and less new listings for detached homes pretty much every year? Like, looks like the chart is just trending down as the years pass by. Again, because I'm going to guess it's because less of them exist every single year. Every year we're tearing them down. We're not building any new ones. The result of that is less listings every single year, less overall inventory every single year. And again, this is why I'm bullish on detached homes despite all of the stuff that is happening. Now, getting into apartments, we're up 2.3%, which is really surprising to me because apartments, from what I can see, have been falling since about March of 2024. Pretty much every month over month, they've been bleeding, except for maybe Langley. Yet they ended the year up 2.3%. I mean, I definitely didn't feel like condos were going up at any point this year, maybe in the first 2 months of the year. Yet they ended the year in a plus somehow. So that's interesting. Inventory is up 45%. So prices went up 2%, but inventory is up 45%. Go figure. New listings up 25%, pretty much at an all-time high for new listings for condos. Again, we have a lot more condos today than every year we have more condos than we had the following year. And that could be why there's more listings, but more or less, I think it's because of everything that's going on in the economy right now. And that's why we're seeing more condo listings. Sales for condos down 3.5%. So you have inventory up 45%. Sales down 3.5%. And as I said before, I don't think the outlook is great for condos going into 2025. We have a lot more new construction properties completing. That's going to mean more inventory. That's going to mean more distressed inventory. So I think condos are going to have a rough time in 2025. But I do think detached is going to perform well. Sales to actives down 31.8%. Now at 20% sales ratio, which is still right on the cusp of a seller's market. Now let's look at the price per square foot. Up 3.1%. Again, more affordable properties, smaller units are selling. Townhomes up 2.3%, same as condos, it appears. Total inventory is up 46% for townhomes. New listings up 28% for townhomes. Sales up 0.6%. Sales to actives ratio down 29%, but again, 26% sales ratio is still a seller's market, technically by the numbers. And then price per square foot, again, pretty much up across the board. Now let's get into my market of Abbotsford, BC. We're up apparently, hold on here. All property types, we're up 0.7% across all of Abbotsford. Getting into Detached, Detached is up 4.4%. So all the people who called me an idiot for buying my detached home, you lost. Total inventory up 19%. But look at this. Look how low the inventory is for detached homes in Abbotsford in comparison to where it was back in the day, right? We were all the way back up here in the early 2010s and then have basically been falling ever since. And although inventory is up 19%, which in comparison to 45% for condos, 44%, 46%, whatever it is for townhomes, detached is only up 19%, which is not bad at all. New listings is only up 10% in comparison to like 15, 26% for some of the other things. And again, look how low this is in comparison to where we are historically. So detached still looks very healthy for prices, I would say. Sales actually went up 3.5% this year for detached, but I mean, still the sales volume is very, very weak all the way down here, pretty much at all-time lows for sales volume for detached in Abbotsford. Sales to actives, minus 14.5%. We're sitting in a balanced market right now. Apartments up 5.2%. Again, I don't even know how that's possible. To me, it looks like prices have been falling for condos. Basically since May, I want to say, in Abbotsford. But yeah, apparently we ended the year up 5%. Inventory up 43.5%. New listings up 14.7%. And again, we're up here near all-time highs for new listings. Inventory, however, is, looks actually healthy for condos in Abbotsford. Sales down 11.5%. These sales historically aren't low, but I think relatively in comparison to how much more condo product exists in Abbotsford, I would say is low. Sales to actives down 36%. We're sitting at 25%. That's still a seller's market though. Now into townhomes, apparently up 5%. This one, I believe, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute here. Total inventory up 31.5%. Look how volatile this chart is for townhomes in Abbotsford. That's crazy, hey? New listings up 14.2%. Sales down 0.4% or 4%. Sales to actives down 21%, but still a 31% sell through. That's a pretty hot seller's market. Like, it's actually a hot seller's market. Price per square foot up 10%. So you have a lot of smaller, newer townhomes selling for the most part for the majority of the transactions. Now, let's go to the monthly chart. I want to show you guys this. So February 2023, right? I mean, look at this. Townhomes have basically been up on an uptrend since that drop off that we had in 2022. Back in late 2022, I had a client. He's an analytical guy, and I used to be an analytical guy myself. It's actually why I hold a real estate license today, because I got really heavily involved with flipping property and doing the BRRRR strategy and running all these numbers. I saw all these people in the States doing it and how much money they were making it. And I wanted to quit my job as a plumber and be a full-time real estate investor. And none of it worked in Vancouver. None of it works here. The only thing that works here is buying a quality unit and then waiting until eventually we have a supply crunch and then prices go up quite dramatically, right? You can't use a spreadsheet here. You cannot use a spreadsheet here. You're just waiting for the next supply crunch. You just buy quality where you know there's going to be good exit liquidity, and you're waiting for the supply crunch. And the thing about supply crunch is it's based on immigration, how many homes are being built, and interest rates. Those are all a bunch of things that are largely dictated by government policy, which you're not going to be able to write into a spreadsheet, right? It's basically, what's that? It's like tea leaves or something like that. So, I mean, like the way the way real estate here trades, it's like it goes down 2% one year, it goes up 4%, it goes up 2% the next year. And then one year it goes up 16%. And then the next year it goes up 13%. And then how are you going to write that on a spreadsheet? Like, you're just waiting for that 1 year where there's a supply crunch, and then you'll make 20% in that 1 year, which if you're 5x leveraged is, 100% you're going to double your money. So I had this client. I am not a pushy salesman whatsoever. I tell people the facts. If they want my opinion, I give them my opinion. If you don't want to buy, that's cool. I will go find the person who does want to buy. But what I'm not going to do is try to like push somebody into a sale or whatever the case may be. But back in late 2022, I had a client, this analytical gentleman who wanted to buy a townhome in Abbotsford. And at that time, Rail District had brand new 3-bedroom townhomes for $649. And in Langley, townhomes in the spring of 2023 literally went up $100,000 in like a month. 3 weeks to a month, they went up $100,000. I knew that was going to come to Abbotsford in the next 2 weeks, because what happens is prices go up in Langley, people get priced out. The next place they look is Abbotsford, like a waterfall. It comes down like a waterfall, right? So in this instance, I knew this client was going to buy. I knew he was going to invest. I knew he wanted a townhome. I saw these townhomes at Rail District. I was like, dude, like you got to make this move fast, right? Like this is happening in Langley. This is going to come here in the next 2 weeks. This is the buy. They were literally selling these townhomes for $30,000 less than resale prices at that time. So you get a brand new townhome with a 1 year long completion, 5% deposit, cheaper, $30,000 cheaper than resale prices. That never happens. So I was like, this is the buy right now. You're going to have to do it fast. No, he wanted to spreadsheet it out and do analysis and research and blah, blah. 2 weeks later, he decides I want to buy it. We go back to the sales center. Developer raised the prices to $694,000. But had you bought a townhome in late 2022, early 2023, you would be up by the numbers. What is that? $60,000? Roughly $60,000 in Abbotsford right now, which is pretty much right on par with that $649 to $694 increase. So townhomes have been an absolute juggernaut pretty much in any market across the Fraser Valley. Now into Langley, Detached up 3.7%. Inventory up 24%, still not great for Detached. Sales up 3.4%. Sales to actives sitting right here in balanced territory. On to apartments. Apartments in Langley up 3.8%. So apparently Abbotsford has outperformed. Inventory is up 42.6%. So you're at all-time highs for inventory in Langley. But Langley has been building so many condos over the last decade. It would make sense that you would be at all-time highs for inventory right now. Obviously, the economy is a very big factor in this, but there's also way more condos in existence these days. New listings at all-time highs, again, up 28% this year. Sales to actives, you're still sitting in a seller's market at 25%, and sales are down 3%. On to townhomes, you're up 3.5%. Inventory up 58%. Jeez. New listings up 36%. Sales up 10% as well. That is interesting. Sales to actives down 30%, and you're still at a 36% sell-through. Langley townhomes have been the best performing asset in all of the Fraser Valley. I mean, despite inventory being up 50 whatever percent, they're still selling through at a 36% sales ratio. So that's very interesting. Now on to Surrey, the worst performing area in all of the Fraser Valley. You have Detached still up 2.2% in City of Surrey combined. Inventory up 27.9%, but still very low. You have sales up 0.6%. Look how low these sales are. You're like touching the absolute bottom of the chart right now for sales. New listings up 18.7%, still seems to be historically low. And then sales to actives down 21.9%, basically on the cusp of a buyer's market. This is pretty much a buyer's market for Surrey Detached. Now on to apartments. Up 0.7%, so the worst performing apartments in all of the Fraser Valley. Inventory up 56% for apartments in Surrey. That is no surprise to me that this would be the worst statistic of all. Again, at all-time highs, comparable to 2015, sorry. New listings up 31%, again, all-time highs. Sales down 1.4%. Seems to be somewhat average, but again, in relation to how many more condos exist in Surrey, maybe not. Sales to actives down 35.7%. This is the only condo product that is actually not in a seller's market. You're in a balanced market for City of Surrey combined. And then again, price per square foot is up. Townhomes for Surrey, you're up 1.8%. Total inventory up 47%. New listings up 31.3%. Sales down 2.1%. Sales to actives down 31.6%, 23%. So this is still a seller's market, but again, you have Langley at 36% sales ratio, and then Surrey 15 minutes down the road is at 23%. So Surrey is clearly underperforming in the Fraser Valley in comparison to Langley as well as Abbotsford. So that's it for your 2025 update for the statistics as it pertains to the Fraser Valley. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, like the video. If you want to chat about buying or selling in the Fraser Valley, I have a booking link in my description. You can book into my calendar. Otherwise, I'm that Agent Kelly and I'm making moves to move you. Peace.